All right. So last time we played, you guys had a pretty epic battle as you finished trekking through the Temple of Madness in the astral plane, uh, hunted down the mind flayer that was charging the Gith capacitor to enslave the Githyanki, and I think 4 of you were down when Kelnozz the Bard miraculously came through, saved the day, killed the Mind Flayer, and you guys found yourself blown back out of the File Realm. And
Blowback!
Janara, the Githyanki, who was helping you, came and brought you back to their skiff and allowed you to rest and heal. You guys were brought back to their Adamantium Citadel, where you were given rewards and celebrated as heroes. And I think that you guys all got some kind of new, kind of fancy magical items. And after a little bit of downtime and recuperation, the Githyanki allowed you to use their gate to return to the material plane.
Oh, yeah.
And we ended the game after you guys had stepped through the portal into pitch darkness, as you realized that you now stood on the material plane, but in the mysterious and deep UnderRog, the underground caverns that span the continent of Alberog like the web of a giant spider, the home of Kelnozz.
Hello.
So, it's pitch dark where you guys are. Everyone with dark vision would see dim light in a 60 feet radius. Kelnozz, I was reading up on the rules, and you have 120 feet because of your superior dark vision.
Hell yeah. I was born in the dark.
It's even darker than, like, regular dark?
Well, no, it's pitch dark. It's, it's a room with no windows and no doors, essentially, because you're miles and miles underneath the earth, potentially.
Mm.
Where you are in the UnderRog, you guys don't know, but there is no light where you are. So, as a wood elf, you can see dimly around you. What you guys do see is that you're in like a crumbled and decayed antechamber that might have one day been very fancy and used for these kind of rituals, but looks like it's been untouched and undisturbed for thousands of years. Otherwise, it is a dark and seemingly empty room.
We're free to act?
You guys are free to act. There are some things that I thought I'd remind you of, and mainly that is that for most of you, like the last time you guys were kind of actively in a city or a town was Garden Hills, right? Which was a long time ago. And Grage has been in the astral plane for 50 years, right? And what I'm trying to get at here is you guys are likely completely out of food and rations. So what I wanted to remind you guys is that generally a medium-sized creature needs about a pound of food a day and a gallon of water a day. And you can go some amount of time without getting all of your food and all of your water, but when you don't satisfy those conditions, you start getting exhaustion points.
Oh, there's exhaustion points.
Yeah, this is really messing up.
Alone.
So as we explore the Underdark, you'll have to put a greater emphasis on things like foraging and looking for food and water, at least until you guys are able to find, if you guys are able to find like a civilization or a settlement in the Underdark, or reach the surface.
So we are we in a room and don't know where we are, or do we know we're in the UnderRog already?
Well,
I
you
always
are
wore
in a. You're kind of in a. It's a dark room, and it has been semi-worked, but it has been so long that there are lots of rough patches and parts where moss seems to have grown over it. Kelnozz is keenly aware when he gets in there, when he kind of adjusts where he is, that you guys are in the UnderRog.
Does he inform us that we are in the UnderRog?
Yeah, I'll let everyone know.
Okay.
Yes, this is a familiar place to me. Am I feeling any lasting physical or psychological effects from our previous encounter?
Everyone should now be considered no exhaustion points,
Okay.
as you've had time to recuperate from that. Right now, everyone is becoming acutely aware of the fact that for the first time since you entered the astral plane, you have a physical body that now requires sustenance. And you all feel hungry. Kelnozz, you feel very hungry.
Yeah, I could use some like fresh meat or something delicious.
Is that what warlocks eat? Or whatever
I'm
you've
just
turned
I'm
into?
a growing man.
Is anyone else going
Are
to
you
mention the
now?
fact that he's a different creature now?
Can
So
we see
you guys
What?
don't. You guys are not
Yeah.
aware of what happened at the end there when he called out to use a pitch glade, because you guys were all unconscious. And I did say at the time that he was going to have to take a warlock level, but I was looking at that a bit later, and I felt it was a little unfair because Kelnozz at level 10 would be a very significant power jump for a bard. You wouldn't really get much from out of being a warlock, and anything that we wanted to do for flavor, we could just do for flavor. So I've got a different idea with him. So
I shall delete all of the homework I did on warlocks.
no, that's an excellent knowledge.
I might still go for it. Like I was reading about the Pact of the Blade. Anyways, I need to think about it more, but there
yeah.
are some cool stuff you can do with hex and
Well, you're free to do whatever you like in terms of how you multi-class, but
yeah.
don't consider yourself imposed anymore. So you guys, in the 60 feet that you're able to see, you guys don't see any kind of immediate exits to this room. Kelnozz, however, with his extended sight, can see that there is a part where the room kind of gives way into rougher rock and seems to be a passageway or a tunnel.
I think I can see a passageway over there. Can they see me with their dark vision?
Yeah, everyone who has dark vision can see like within 60 feet as if it were dim light, right?
Okay.
So you can't see excellent details, but they can see you. Anyone who doesn't have dark vision right now is just completely blind, basically.
Oh, I think I have a helmet for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Better than that.
Okay. I've come equipped.
Follow the sound of my voice, and I start slowly walking towards where the passageway is. It's this way, lads.
Aye.
Well, since we've left the astral plane, I'm going to relinquish control of the group to anyone else, since I have no idea where we are right now. Unless you want me to stay in charge, but I would recommend not.
Well, you got us out of the astral plane. That's quite an accomplishment. Can't say I've ever
quote the
experienced that
songs
before.
you shall sing about that.
Well, he may have got us out of the astral plane, but that's where he had stayed for 50 years. However, now we should allow Kelnozz a time to lead the group, as he is from the UnderRog. And in any way, tell us again, Kelnozz, how you managed to single-handedly defeat the worst demon we had ever seen, and in doing so had saved our lives.
First off, Tharhun, you should know not to trust me with anything of important matter. Certainly, I've proven this countless times throughout your lifespan and Tharhun's lifespan as well. Secondly, you've also witnessed me perform tremendous acrobatic attacks, even under the most dire circumstances. And my swordsmanship has once again won the day.
Kelnozz. You know, I once worried about you. I worried about your cowardice and general inability and dishonesty. I worried that you would never earn the light of Maraganor upon you. But if you were able to defeat such a beast, mere acrobatic tricks would not be enough. You are clearly favored by Maraganor. He has rewarded your devotion to him, and you are now his champion, along with me. You can lead us to victory here in the UnderRog, I am certain of it. Let us go into this place and claim our victory and escape back to the surface world. You've done it once, you can do it again, Kelnozz.
For Maraganor! And I barrel down towards the passageway.
I shrug and charge after you. Maraganor!
I second what Dragonface is saying and follow.
This is a huge mistake, but I think it's gonna be fun.
I like the enthusiasm, and I'll run down the passageway as well. Hopefully, you can see us.
I'm completely blind, but I cast dark vision. I cast dark vision on myself so I can see to 60 feet.
Oh
I
boy,
follow behind.
we almost left our captain in the dust there. Have you guys seen Kelnozz? Or have you guys seen the Yacht?
Just this giant, just completely lost in the UnderRog, bumping into things.
Can I do like a religion check to see if I feel like the essence of Maraganor or any sort of like spiritual connection?
Kevin, you know that that's horseshit and that you're now belonging to some horrible spider god.
You don't know.
We don't know that.
No, I don't know that. True. This is all out of character, but
But as you are aren't you like champion of Maraganor?
yes, correct.
Maybe you could will some of that like
Sweet Maraganor
some
action.
of that sweet
Are the,
juice.
Well-
gods gonna battle through you two?
Well, I feel like I believe that you already have the light of Maraganor upon you, so I wouldn't like feel the need to do anything like that.
I see. But like I've also, helped you convert / kill the infidels who don't believe in Maraganor. So like maybe
Oh, yeah.
I have earned a little bit of his favor.
Possible.
Possible.
Which you then threw away once you swore
Oh,
your
most definitely.
life away to.
You're right. I will track I would not believe that I would have the spirit of Maraganor as I know the truth. I retract that. Check. Strike it from the record. Delete the video. Bob.
Already deleted. Okay, so what I need from you guys is to put yourself into a marching order here. Right, so this is kind of representing over the time period of when you're traveling in the Underdark. Generally, who's going to be leading the pack, and at this point, you guys can. There's other roles that can be done as well. For example, whoever's navigating is probably not going to be foraging. Foraging would be looking for food and water. It depends on how fast you guys are trying to travel. In the Underdark, things are a lot slower in terms of travel. Instead of traveling 24 miles a day on a regular pace over 8 hours, on a regular pace over 8 hours, you're only going to cover like 6 miles. And so if you go faster than that, then you'll go a little bit further. But if you go fast, you won't be able to do things like forage or use stealth. Stealth you have to go slow for.
Okay, I think we should move stealthily. The UnderRog is dark and full of terrors.
But don't we need to find food? While I am pleased to feel the blood flow in my veins once more. I also now feel a little hungry as well.
Indeed, it has been
Have no
some time
rations.
since
back
we ate a proper meal.
We're back in the world. Perhaps our ranger can detect things around us that we might be able to eat.
Indeed.
Oh yeah.
I can absolutely do that. I'm particularly good at foraging, but I will say I've never actually been to the UnderRog.
Yeah, you're best to watch every step. You never know what sort of danger lurks around the corner.
Well, let's do a little bit of foraging then.
So what I need you guys to do is put yourself into the marching order and just make it clear who is doing. Like if Brynn's going to be doing the foraging, that's fine. But we need a navigator.
Kelnozz should probably do the navigating because he's from here, right?
Am I familiar with this particular area? Do I know where I am within like the context of a greater UnderRog?
Make a history check.
Okay.
It's a history check.
It has been some time since I've been down here.
You don't know where you are, but
Okay.
the geology of the rock around you is familiar. And so you are willing to make a fairly confident guess that you're in the same general geographic area as where Nissindor was, the city that you came from, and where you came up into Helm.
Yes. This area does look somewhat familiar to me. It will take me a few moments to get my bearings, though.
I'm going to be doing some foraging.
So who else has night vision? Perhaps they should be at the back of the line to watch our flank.
Now that Eikooc has cast a spell, you guys all have dark vision.
Excellent.
I think it's just me.
Well, wait, but how long does his spell last?
8 hours.
Okay, that's enough time.
But it's touch. It's just one person at a time. It's not the group, unfortunately.
But I don't
Does
think anyone
Grage
else
not
uses
have?
it. I'm sure
does
Grage
Grage have night
does.
vision?
Yeah. Hill Dwarf. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I might not have written it down on your character sheet, Eric, because that's something that I might have overlooked. But
I was looking in the handbook and I didn't see anything about it.
Pretty sure all dwarves have dark vision, don't they?
Well, I'm a hill dwarf, not a mountain dwarf.
I can check. But
so it's because it's not under Hill Dwarf specifically. There's like a section for all dwarves,
Oh.
right? And then there's some things that are just specifically for Hill Dwarf. So you do indeed have just the normal 60 feet of dark vision.
Alright, I shall watch the flank then. For our marching order.
Brynn,
okay.
were you able to locate any tasty meals for us?
Where is Brynn in this marching order?
Ooh, and
You can go like right behind me.
yeah, I would go behind Kelnozz, keeping an eye out for edible arrangements. Melon on sticks in flower formation.
Sounds delicious.
Okay, so another rule, just to throw it out there, is one person can elect to make a map, and that would just prevent you guys from getting lost in the tunnels that you've already explored, and there's no ability check that's required.
I'm definitely the map maker.
You are the
You
navigator.
might be. So, okay, so while you guys are traveling, I would like a survival check from Kelnozz and a survival check from Brynn for the two respective tasks.
Survival check.
Ooh,
Ooh, that's
We're off to a great start in the UnderRog.
nothing bad could possibly happen.
All right. You guys spend 6 hours, and Kelnozz keeps on thinking like, "Oh, I know where I am now," and inevitably, you end up, like Eikooc would say every now and then, is we're already back here. Like you're checking your map that you've been making and saying like you were clearly lost. So you do manage to travel for about 8 hours without encountering any creatures or anything. In fact, as you travel through the the UnderRog tunnels, you can't help but notice that it is very homogeneous, where most of these tunnels are dark, rocky passages where there's very little signs of anything that has been disturbing this area. While Brynn is foraging and looking for food, he does come across some handfuls of moss and some kind of like brackish water at some points. So here you guys can make anyone who has a herbalism kit can make a check with like a nature check with their herbalism to identify the moss and see if it's poisonous or good to eat. And people can make a similar check, or perhaps a medicine check if they're proficient on the water to see if it's safe to eat or safe to drink rather.
Ooh. Don't go by my word on it.
You have to have you said a herbalism kit?
You need a herbalism kit to identify plants. But
I'll
to
take
just
a look at this.
But just to take, well, you rolled your 15 there, right? I assume that was for the moss.
Yeah.
So Grage takes a look at this moss, sniffs at it, and after some careful analysis, he suggests that it probably can be eaten, that it's not poison. But you guys probably only have about 2 pounds of it after you scrape it all up.
And suddenly we notice that there's actually 4 pounds.
Oh, you have your special ability?
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
When you forage, you find twice as much food as you normally would.
Okay, alright, thank you for reminding. That's going to be helpful.
Going forward, all Bob is going to do is half all of it.
It was a good call hiding it until the last moment.
Yeah, we get
Yeah,
benefit for
no.
once.
Excellent. You're assuming I didn't refresh my memory on that and already know.
True.
I am, especially
Huge bluff right now.
given your reaction initially.
I just wanted to make you feel better.
Well,
No, I
feel
did forget.
excellent.
So Tharhun bends down and sniffs the water, and he shrugs, unsure of, not really having any insight. Smells fine though.
Doesn't really look that filling.
That was for the water.
Yeah.
You need medicine.
Medicine, or you could also make a nature check if you prefer, like with depending on what's better.
Oh god, these rolls.
All right, I'll take a look at the water.
Grage bends down at the water and noticing that it's kind of brackish with dirt and kind of silt and stuff, you kind of crinkle your nose and say you probably shouldn't drink it.
Well, I've drank worse, but I'm not desperate yet, so I would probably pass on the water. What is it? A pound per person for food?
Yes. So it is, generally speaking, I'll post this in Discord so we can all read it at once. It's just the food and the water rules. So generally, you can go without eating for a number of days equal to 3 plus your Constitution modifier. And after that, you start getting exhausted if you don't eat. But if you don't drink, you start getting it a lot faster. So you need a gallon of water. It's like 4 liters of water. And if you drink half that much, you roll a Constitution check to see if you're going to be exhausted or not. So with the amount of water that you guys found along this passageway, you could probably drink your fill. But
What?
It would potentially not be safe water.
What say you, Kelnozz? Does this look like the water of your childhood?
It does, but that doesn't mean it's a good idea to drink it. There were many deaths, both to feral creatures and basically unhealthy living environments. I think we should try to press on. Perhaps we'll find more clean water somewhere else.
Well, we might get desperate. Why don't we fill our skins with this water, but dump it out if we find some better water?
Wouldn't that just contaminate our containers?
Well, you
and
can
just to
wash
remind you
it out.
guys that this was the check after for the whole day of traveling. So
Ooh.
at the end of the day, this is what you found.
We get an automatic exhaustion if we drink nothing at the end of the day. So this is basically
water?
we take a risk on this water, or you have to take a roll, and there's a chance you'll get exhausted. You have to survive a
if you drink
15
half
Constitution.
of it.
Does it help us if we boil it?
Yeah, is there anything we
would.
can do to potentially...
Very generally
decontaminate?
speaking, yes. Right? Like, we all know the rules of water. Like, I don't know. Actually, I don't know the rules that well, but I know if you boil water, it's generally safer, right? But, so, if you can boil water, generally speaking, in the Underdark, it's going to be better. But you'll have to actually do it first before you find out the result.
We should make a fire before we go just gulping down this nasty looking water.
Very
You
wise,
just want
yeah.
I agree.
fireball.
Perhaps with a firebolt, you could start up a little fire for us, yeah.
Perhaps we could do it the standard way.
It might be something to look at while we do a rest here, but for those of you who can... Actually, I think I might just be talking to Tharhun here, because I think you can change your spells every day, Tharhun.
Yeah,
You
if
might
I
have
do
it.
a rest.
You might have a Purify Water spell. Purify
Oh.
Food and Water spell. I'm not sure. I know there's a cleric version of that, and usually that translates to Paladin as well. But
It would,
Check.
it would be more helpful if you had create food and water.
Oh, I do have purify food and drink. There it is.
There you go.
is it prepared?
Oh, it is not prepared. I'd have to
you
sleep
go.
for a day, and I don't know if we want to take exhaustion and then get a drink. That might not be good.
Well, you guys can just rest further, I guess, if you wanted to. But you would just spend longer in the UnderRog. So at the end of your 8-hour trek, you guys have, been lost a few times as Kelnozz reaccustoms himself to the UnderRog, and you have a somewhat filling meal for most of you, and the water to deal with. And at the end of the 8 hours, you settle down. At this point, you've traveled long enough that you guys are all really tired and ready for a rest. So pushing on from now would usually have more exhaustion point risks. And it's at this point that you guys come to understand that time here is very hard to fully understand, right? Without the aid of a sun coming up every 24 hours, you have no idea how long, if a day has passed or not. right? You can travel for 8 hours and rest for 8 hours, and kind of loop your days like that. But that's still only about 16 hours. So you guys have some amount of downtime.
Sounds like more traveling time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Every hour you push on past 8 hours, you start taking rolls for exhaustion points because you're pushing yourself past what your body is really able to do comfortably.
We only travel between the hours of 9 and 5.
That's what the union says.
Okay. So what are you guys doing with this water that I presume you've brought back to your camp?
Let's try boiling it and collecting the vapor. So it's like distilled water. Do we have enough
Right.
like containers or things where we could actually boil it? I have my old wine flask, I think. Or
I'm
no,
sure.
it's
I'm
broken.
sure we have like a pot that you would take with you adventuring
Yes.
to boil water in.
I'm hesitating a little too good. If you guys know how you can make distilled water fairly easily with that kind of random stuff, then fine. But you definitely have a pot.
I think I would have learned how to do this when I was younger.
Boil water?
Like living outside of the major cities and the UnderRog. What sort of precautions you would take normally?
Well, I'm just saying, what kind of equipment would you use for that?
I'm looking through my inventory now.
Well, can I try this spell? If I have a chance to rest and prepare the spell, could I potentially try it on this water?
Well, you have to face the consequences of going to bed without drinking water first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, so you could do it though.
It's probably a good thing to do afterwards, at least. It's just a question of whether we want to. Well, we would take exhaustion for sure, but if we want to risk poison or disease, then it's maybe better than exhaustion, but I don't know. It might be worse if it's disease.
I take a swig of the water.
Oh, God.
And this is before boiling it.
I think we should do the boiling.
Well, I thought we decided we couldn't boil it because we didn't have time. Or
No,
no,
Kevin
you
was
can-
trying to distill it into the essence of water. Let's just boil the damn stuff.
Yeah, we can at least do
Boil it
that.
in 5 minutes.
I'll make it easy. If someone has an alchemist kit or supplies, they can do this distilled water idea. Otherwise, you'll have to just empty your water skins into pots and boil it.
I don't have alchemist kit.
I
No, I
don't
don't
think
either.
anyone does.
Okay, so we can just do the boiling. Let's just do that. Let's maybe try it and hope for the best, I guess. How much food do we have again? We have 4 pounds of food.
4 pounds.
4 pounds, yeah.
If we take half rations, then sleeping only counts as half a day. Therefore, we wouldn't start taking penalties just yet, and we can split it across the whole party. We're 6 people, right? Or 5 people? 5 people. Okay. Well, 2 people have to take half rations.
I'll take a half ration.
I could do half as well.
Who has a high constitution? That's what. Or no, wait, that doesn't
Well,
matter. I don't think it matters either way. 3 days without food, so yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, so who's taking half rations?
I'll take a half. Grage.
Me too.
Okay. So number of days equal. What's your constitution modifier, Grage?
I believe it's 3.
Oh, 6 days. Okay, so you guys chow down on this moss, which really doesn't taste that good. It has a very dirty kind of texture to it, and kind of like even if you guys boil it, it doesn't really get rid of its hard, wiry kind of taste to it. Kelnozz, as you eat this, it tastes like dust in your mouth.
Ugh.
And it just tastes absolutely disgusting. And make a Constitution check.
Constitution check, not save.
Or you know what? Let's make it a saving throw. Sure.
Okay. Oh yeah.
All right, you.
Oh, and +2.
You managed to choke this moss down.
Ah. Ah, yeah.
Choke it out and down.
It's disgusting. I never liked this kind of moss.
So, is there anything else you guys want to do before you guys rest
water?
for the night? Oh,
What about the water?
The water you guys drink, and it has kind of a stale taste to it, but it doesn't seem to have any effect on you guys. You guys drink it and kind of wait around to see if your body has kind of reaction, and it seems to just be fine, and you feel refreshed.
That wasn't so bad.
I don't know. I think I might have the squirts. I'm gonna go over to this corner for a second.
For someone who only just gained bodily functions, you seem very familiar with how it works. Wait a second.
Before we go for a rest, Bob, can I pass something by you?
Sure.
If I summon a goat, can I then milk that goat? I know if I reduce it to 0 hit points, it'll disappear.
You're talking about
But-
your furry bag thing?
Yeah, my rust bag. I have a 1 in 4 chance of getting a goat, either a goat or a giant goat. I imagine a giant
Now,
goat
hold
would have
on.
a lot of milk.
You have more than one
Then-
mammal there.
Well, yeah, we could milk the rat too. Everybody knows that rat milk is full of vitamin R.
I would say the animal that you have summoned has not recently given birth, and so isn't what's the right word? Generating milk.
Lactating?
Yeah,
it
lactating.
sucks.
Thank you.
That's a good point. Damn you and your logic, Bob. A stupider person would have let us milk the rat.
Okay, all right.
A clever
go a
idea
little-
would have made you try first.
That's true.
Do they have like? Do they have any flat? Like, is it purely just like a magical creature?
No,
is,
it's a legit. Well, it's a legit creature, but it'll go away when it goes down to 0 hit points.
So
The
can
other
we
part
keep
is-
it alive and just cut little bits off?
Well, that's what I was wondering too. But then it just probably disappears out of your belly too.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah,
Wait,
Yeah.
so as you dissolve it, like all the proteins and stuff would disappear from your body?
I don't know.
It's magical, so I don't know.
We're
I think
getting into some like
Scott's
metaphysical
got
territory.
Scott's got the right idea here.
It's like a phase spirit that's taking the form of an animal, basically. So, like, I imagine if you cut something off it, like the illusion or the manifestation is gone.
No, what it says you are
Hmm.
transforms into the creature that it is now. Whatever. I agree with you, Scott. It's probably just a magical creature.
It's worth it.
Otherwise, this is a great money-making scheme. We could set up an UnderRog cow milking operation down here.
That's what I'm saying. I could just summon giant goats. I got like a 1 in 4 shot of getting a giant goat. Giant goat's gotta be full of milk. I was
What if
trying
it's
to come up
male?
with some clever way. Well, then maybe 50-50, 1 in 8 then.
Oh man,
Now
we're
we're
losing
getting
the
into-
odds.
Less favorable odds here.
I
But
summon
I
a
got 3
giant,
chances.
recently given birth goat.
1 in a million.
We summon 2 goats and then ask them to, get familiar.
Cast
Yeah,
charm.
we could do some
Wait
like
6
animal
months.
husbandry.
Dominate creature.
Oh god.
Alright.
That's fucked up.
We're gonna get
Let's
PETA
let's-
action on us here. Let's return to
let's just boil the water, guys, and like
Non-barbaric
deal with the
things.
moss.
Okay. So, what are the plans for resting for the night?
Can we find a spot that has like that we're fairly well defended, like maybe a part of the like where there's like one entrance or something like that?
You guys didn't
You have a
find
map?
quite a defensive area like that. You guys seem to be in a long series of tunnels, and there hasn't been many offshoot caves or passages to explore.
I think like we should probably have 2 people stand watch if we have enough, just to be extra safe.
I will take the first watch.
As will I. May Maraganor guide us.
I'm going to I guess one end of the tunnel that wherever we're staying, I'll pick one of the 2 ends and cast alarm about 100 feet out from where we're staying, and make it have an audible alarm if anybody enters that.
Is it a spoken alarm? Like we hear?
Yeah, it'll be audible that everybody can hear it. It'll be
Ahoy!
it'll be the what's it called? The Wilhelm scream.
Nice. Gillette.
So okay, Tharhun's gonna set watch. Was there anyone else?
I will as well.
I'll take the second watch if the first watch is already full.
I need my beauty rest.
May the favorite of Maraganor stand watch.
4 hours, so I can switch off with Kelnozz or Tharhun or something.
I could use time to meditate, so I'll take you up on that.
There we go.
All right, so everyone who's doing a watch will need to roll a perception check, please.
Perception.
And as far as I understand it, it's Kelnozz and Tharhun for the first shift, and then Brynn for the second shift. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the eerie silence of the UnderRog persists throughout the night, and both shifts are uneventful. As Kelnozz goes into his trance, I need him to go over into the other channel with me.
Oh boy.
Doc can come too if you want.
What up?
I want some tasty flesh.
Ooh, Nyber dream time. All right, Kelnozz, you begin your meditation. Your breath stilling as you begin the mental exercises you learned growing up in Nisindor, the dark elven city where House Toon Tarl dwelled, some unknown miles away, but closer now than ever since you had left the UnderRog. Your focus is lost, though, as your thoughts of the city return. A warm, brilliant white light fills your mind as you enter into the deepest levels of your trance. A warmth spreads through your body. You're on the back of your mother, warm and cozy in her fur, as well as the squirming hot bodies of your brothers and sisters. You are protected. You are safe within the web of Inza Pitchglade. The world spins as the mother scuttles along her web, and sensing the aching hunger of her children, crawls down to 4 large masses of flesh wrapped in white silk. As you and your thousands of brothers and sisters scuttle down and begin biting into the cocoons, drinking their blood and eating their flesh, you notice only the faces of a hill dwarf, a Halgud, a wood elf, and a copper dragonborn's lifeless face poking from this cocoon.
What?
Let's go back.
Because each night if we rested.
Exactly.
They're
Where
back.
would I find that rule, Scott?
I'm looking.
You guys are looking up a rule.
Don't tell Bob.
Ooh. You all temporarily die. You should probably tell Bob.
We're just trying to figure out how a ranger can change spells, or if they can.
I don't think they can, but it's under the spellcasting part of their class page. So as you guys all wake up in the UnderRog, waking up to the same dim light or pure darkness in Eikooc case, you all notice as you wake up that there is a thin layer of spider webs covering you.
Oh shit. That's gross.
That's okay. This happens all the time.
Okay, when I gain a level, I can change it.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I just read in my spell casting thing, but not just willy nilly overnight.
Hopefully this whisper does not go global. Alright. Didn't, I hope. So, okay, so the day is now essentially yours. You guys are able to now feel rested enough to continue your journey.
All right. Go back to foraging. We're gonna forage some more.
We still don't have any idea where we're headed either. I guess we're looking for signs of civilization. Maybe tracks of people moving.
Do we want to find people?
Well, I feel like, I mean, we could travel the wilderness of the UnderRog forever, but we need to find some help probably if we're ever going to escape.
Kelnozz, what say you?
Sorry, say that again?
Are we looking for people or are we avoiding people down here?
We're going to try to avoid everybody. Let's just say I was falsely accused of some horrible crimes, and it's just better if we don't run into anybody.
And the murdering of your whole family.
Okay, well, let's not point any fingers about that.
Whatever crimes you had past committed, I know that Maraganor has forgiven you, given you
Yes,
recent
absolutely right.
devotion to him. Okay, well, in that case, let us do as you say and search for a way out of here on our own. Perhaps you could remember something about how you escaped the first time.
Yes, of course. So I'm going to reflect back. I would have found a passage to the surface.
Kelnozz most likely had used one of the passages to the surface that the Dark Elves were aware of, right?
Yeah, because
occasionally making raids up to the surface.
Exactly. So I would have. So what I would do is try to find the nearest one of those tunnels. Although typically they're really well hidden, because at least the entrance to the surface, they don't want anyone from the surface coming back down again. So I think in the UnderRog, it should be more obvious where the entrances are. How would I find these though? I'm just trying to think.
Are there like you know how, like I don't know, in some games, thieves have like thief markings that they leave to help other thieves find their way? Maybe there's something like that for these tunnels for dark elves.
They definitely would have. Yeah, they could have used stuff like that because there would be raiding parties that would leave from the cities to basically like kill and abduct elves on the surface. So it would have to be sort of like looking for any of those symbols in the rock face to see if we could find any of these passages. I suspect this would take some time though. So yeah, let's just start searching.
So maybe that could be a role if someone is, while they're looking, while someone else is navigating, someone can make an active effort of looking for any kind of markers or symbols that might have been left by drow or otherwise to navigate through the UnderRog. Tracking is
Also,
go ahead.
I was thinking like also if we do find like a sign of civilization, we could like stealthily investigate and figure out if they're like evil denizens or something that we don't feel too bad about ripping off. We could consider raiding them for supplies or information that might help us.
Yes.
Yeah, we could tie them up and interrogate them.
Yeah, that's right. That always ends well. Okay, no, we're not going to be doing that.
Well, you eat another day of moss and we'll talk again.
Look, I'm a dragon.
Not good.
I'm a dragon, and I'm pretty sure that dragons are known to eat people, and it's not even considered cannibalism. So let's hurry up and find some food before I have to make some tough choices.
Dragon face is spicy today.
Yeah, Tharhun is taking a character arc shift as well, apparently.
Let's just say, when my tummy is grumbling, I get a little grouchy.
Get a little hangry.
Angrier than usual, yes. Which is saying something indeed.
So yeah, as we're perceiving, so primarily I'm looking for any markings that would lead to passages that go to the surface, but we'd also be looking for traces of other groups like camps or outposts or sort of like civilization.
So some of that is going to have to be done by other people.
Okay.
While you're navigating, you're primarily focused on finding a way through the tunnels as you go through them, overcoming obstacles and making your party aware of them. You can also keep an eye out for the symbols if you want.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like looking out for signs of civilization is essentially looking for tracks, right? So someone else is going to have to track, and that's in addition to the foraging and the map making.
So how many jobs do we have? We have foraging, map making, looking for signs.
I'm navigating and looking for signs.
Well, is navigating a separate job? I think it's a separate job, isn't it?
Navigating is its own job usually, yes.
Okay, so we need a navigator, a forager, a map maker. I think I think Kelnozz, you got to be the sign look for, since you're the only one who would know that stuff.
True, but I also would lead us through the safest path with the less chance of like running into danger.
Shit, you're right.
So it's sort of risk reward.
Brynn's good at all these things.
I am. I'm good at. I'm looking at this list, being like, I can't get lost. Difficult terrain doesn't slow us.
Okay.
Time bonus food.
Danger.
Let's use Ryan's special rules on the navigating, because it sounds like he's got that covered.
But we also need the extra, like, double forage.
Actually, you know what? Don't worry about that. I got that covered for next long rest. Now that I've had some time to meditate and ask Maraganor for guidance, I think we're gonna be all right on that.
It was just that
Or I'll just eat you.
we're still at the beginning of the day here, planning it. So, now is a fine time if you guys want to. For those of you who are able to rejigger their spells, now's a fine time to do it.
Yeah, I've done that, and
Why don't we eat our ration first thing in the morning, and then we know it's done?
because it burns a pretty huge spell slot, so I'd rather us find food that we can then work with. But if we can't find any food, then I should be able to help us out at the end of the day. So we really just need navigation and looking for ways out of the UnderRog, which is kind of our purpose right now, and then map making, and then just general. I don't know. Do we have anything else that we need to take care of? I don't think so.
Just general encouragement and morale boosting.
Tracking was one of the things you guys talked about. Looking for signs of other people, or even signs of monsters is not a bad idea.
Okay. What kind of check is that? Is that survival checks?
It's a survival check, yeah. All of these are survival checks so far.
Okay, I'm pretty neutral on that, like 0 bonus. What do you say, Grage? Do you have any wisdom or proficiency in survival potentially?
Only slight in survival, but I'm hella whiz.
Okay, well you probably if you're wise, because you're a monk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, you're pretty wise. You should probably do the watch out for creatures and tracks and stuff like that. I'll supervise in the name of Ragnar.
You here?
Okay, so if that's what you guys are doing, then I would like a survival check from Kelnozz, Brynn, and Grage.
+2? Ah,
I survived the shit out of that.
Nice.
man, these rolls are garbage.
Okay, so starting with the most successful, as you guys travel for the day, over the next 8 hours, as you trek through these tunnels, it's Grage's opinion that you guys are in a tunnel that looks like it hasn't been disturbed by almost anything other than maybe perhaps scuttling bugs for a very long time. There's like a thick layer of dust and dirt on everything, and he's pretty sure that this place has not been visited by people or anything in a very long time. Brynn is able to fully forage for the day. He's able to find, with his special abilities, he's basically able to get 10 pounds of food out of
I found bag.
So as you guys are kind of moving through the Underdark, you do come across a small cavern with these large cask-shaped funguses. And after poking and prodding them at for a bit, you discover that they are able to hold, essentially they hold water and can be eaten for food. Anyone who wants to make, or Kelnozz, you can make a nature check, and Grage, if you want, you can make a nature check with advantage since you have your herbalism kit.
Yeah, go ahead, Grage. You're better at this than me.
But you do it too, Kelnozz.
Nature,
Okay.
I'm fairly neutral here.
But
I've got a -1.
13, so so even Grage is kind of familiar with this fungus as it grows. It grows underground, but close enough to the surface that even hill dwarves would encounter it, and it is a barrel stalk. So you guys are able to get, you guys managing to cultivate some of these barrel stalks, you get 10 pounds of food, and do this.
And is the water drinkable? Do we know?
You guys get 10 gallons of water, and it is It is a drinkable water.
How much of it are we able to store?
Good questions. You guys have like I'd say gallon wine skins, like water skins. So it depends for how creative you want to get from there.
Normally we could travel on the road for a little while, right? So we have standard ways that we do this. Like I'm just saying, like we can travel for like a week and it's not a problem. Is there?
Yeah, but in the past, I've assumed that you guys have just had
Yeah, we're like going through towns and
What's the
more access
temperature
to the
like
water.
in that cave?
Cave temperature has been staying kind of like a little bit warmer than what you'd kind of call a normal comfortable day, but it's not hot and it's not necessarily uncomfortable, but it is kind of a warmish feeling.
Okay. All right. Well, we should bring as much water as we can because we are getting decently sweaty as we walk through this warm cave. I don't have a wineskin.
The wineskin is something that we'll just assume it's part of your adventures pack, right?
All right.
So.
Well, I shall drink my ration of water, and then some.
yeah, that's true. We could just drink the day's worth, and then store the rest for tomorrow.
Yep.
Here, here.
Here, here.
What's your Constitution modifier, Kelnozz?
It is +1.
Okay. Okay, and as for the actual navigating, just see what that roll was. So it's another day where Kelnozz is a little overconfident in his comfort with the environment, and even though he seems to have some idea of where you guys are, it just doesn't pan out, and you guys end up walking forward and without really gaining any sense of where you are in the greater UnderRog.
Kelnozz, do you still have your little dragon creature or your little summons creature?
Absolutely. I snap my finger and Bims appears.
Oh, Bims.
Best friend for life.
Why don't you send him out scouting?
Well, that's an extremely good idea.
Can when we're getting going, can I sit down and do my Deanna Troy move?
So these rolls all constitute the idea of what's happening while you guys are going. So
Okay.
at any time you could say you want to stop and say, like, you can say
Yeah, why don't we do
while
that?
while we travel, I take some time to do the focusing. In which case, you get nothing in terms of humanoids or giants.
All right.
Yeah. The not only is the area very strange to you, and your ranger skills do give you some kind of comfort inside of the underground tunnels, but the way the tunnels intersect over this 25-mile area, you're not getting any useful indication that there's anything nearby.
All right.
Why don't I send Bims out to do to fly out ahead of us? And he'll be looking for any potential danger or, track anything of note.
Sure.
So I'll have him fly 100 feet forward.
Okay. So during this traveling period, you guys don't come across any hidden threats or anything as you guys are going. So at the end of the day, you've got your 10 pounds of food that you've got from the barrel stocks, or the barrel. What do they call it? I think that's it. Anyway, you had the barrel stocks. You had the 10 pounds of the barrel stocks. You guys all said you drank a gallon of water when you guys cultivated this stuff, and have a gallon of water in your wineskins left over. So we face again another night in the UnderRog.
And we didn't come across anything of note the whole day.
Well, what was the big thing of note that you came across was the cavern that had these barrel stalks growing in it, and
Right.
some food, a source of food and water that looked trustworthy. Other than that, the passages are long and dark, and one kind of looks like another, and so it is a very monotonous and uneventful trek.
Well,
All right.
I'll stand guard on one side of the tunnel tonight.
I'll do one of the watches, hopefully better.
I will also do a watch, as per usual.
Okay, so it's going to be Kelnozz and Grage in the first shift, and Brynn in the second again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And are you doing an alarm spell, Yuck?
Yep, I'm going to do another alarm spell.
Okay, so please make perception checks, those of you who are standing watch.
Yeah, there we go.
Another night passes with no interruptions. Kelnozz, you are able to meditate peacefully.
Nice. No weird dreams tonight.
Did you dream about the night before?
I'll never tell.
I'll talk to Bims later and find out.
Damn it.
All right. So, it has been 32 hours since you guys arrived in the material plane. At some point, a day has passed, but it's hard to think about it like that. You feel like more like 2 days have passed, and the sense of time starts feeling harder and harder to keep a grasp on here in the UnderRog. If you guys want to change your roles or anything, that's fine, or do any other tail ends of your long rest before you start out for the day. It's time to say so.
I think we're about ready to head back out again.
If I
Everybody
got
good?
everyone's role here right.
Worked well yesterday. I'm fine doing the same thing.
Yeah. They're here. Continue slogging to wherever we may be headed.
Well, we don't need food today. Perhaps we can have more people look for additional ways out or signs of anything.
True, but we should also still look for food, because there's no telling we'll find food tomorrow.
Well, we have the emergency backup of Dragonface's
Ah,
food spell.
good old food spell.
Yeah, it's a
Consult
big.
hunger.
I'm wondering if I'm starting to think Tharhun had a good idea of maybe prioritizing trying to find tracks of other people, and like they probably won't fight us right away. Maybe I can also put on a disguise or something. Potentially we could gather more information from them instead of just sort of like randomly looking for symbols or something. Like it might give us a better chance of getting to the surface faster.
Well, so far there have been no signs of anything except undisturbed dust and cobwebs everywhere.
Yeah, but if I send BIMs out, like looking specifically for tracks,
Oh, can BIMs be like like a separate person searching and perform a role?
Yeah, I've got him as a role here. I don't know if you guys should be able to see it, but I've got words next to some names here.
yeah.
Watching for threats.
That's pretty cool.
Let's have him watch for tracks, like to double our tracking effort.
You don't have Tharhun doing anything.
He was
I should probably do. I was supervising. There could be something better.
Keep us from being surprised, please.
Yeah, I guess I could look out for threats specifically. I'll keep my head up, like looking the horizon as far as I can see, even though I can't see very far. But maybe listening carefully as well.
What's your passive perception?
It's not that great, I don't think. Let's see. Whoop whoop whoop.
Also,
Passive.
sorry. Oh, stop there.
It's your perception bonus plus 10.
Perception bonus would be my proficiency if I'm proficient, but I don't know if I am. I'm not. So it's 0, so it's only 10.
Okay.
Borb.
Yeah.
My natural explorer ability has, even when you're engaged in another activity while traveling, such as foraging, navigating, or tracking, you remain alert to danger.
Ooh.
Very good.
So,
nice.
So what's your passive perception?
16.
16. All right.
Jesus
Nice.
Christ.
First time we've used it.
Yeah, we're using a lot of stuff for the first time here. It's like
I've
a
used your
situation.
passive perceptions before. It's just something I should probably know instead of ask you guys for. But anyway, so okay, I've updated the list here, and now we know that Brynn can do multiple things.
Andy's dashingly handsome.
Especially in the pitch dark.
Everyone is more handsome in the dark.
Alright, so if you guys are otherwise ready to begin your day of adventuring, then we'll need wisdom saving throws from Kelnozz, Brynn, and Grage.
Wisdom saving throws?
Not wisdom saving throws, I don't know why I said that. Survival checks.
Survival checks, okay.
Not a 1, not a 1, not a 1, not a 1. Okay.
Right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
Okay. So it's a good idea that you guys decided to keep some water and food, because as you guys traveled this day, Brynn is not able to find anything in terms of food or water.
But I find double that amount.
You do. Grage is unable to find any tracks or any signs of civilization. And
Oh, should I roll for BIMs?
no, Bims is using his passive perception as well.
Oh, okay.
And Kelnozz now seems less confident in himself and just takes you guys through the UnderRog, keeping you guys safe from any of the kind of mundane tripping hazards and finding some passages. After you guys travel for about 6 hours, you come across a dead end. And it looks like just a pile of rocks in your way.
Kelnozz, your glorious leadership has led us to this dead end.
I foresaw this happening.
Then you are a genius.
Well, at least we know, guys, we're not lost.
We can never be lost.
We can never be lost as long as we stick together. The rest of you can be lost. I can't get lost.
I say we eat the elf first.
Then we're just gonna find the. Oh, I am the food.
You came to terms with that really fast, right? There's literally nothing. Like we can't. There's no
Let's
like.
inspect the rocks.
Yeah. Does it look like it was put here intentionally, or is it sort of a natural?
As you guys
Waterfall.
as you guys come to the dead end and start having that exchange there about being lost, you all feel a rumble as a tremor seems to shake the cavernous walls around you. After a moment, it passes, but you can see, or you hear small pebbles shifting inside of behind the rocks. And as Grage starts inspecting and looking at the rock face after the tremor stopped, he manages to see a very faint blue light peeking through one of the crevices of the rocks.
Boys, I see something.
What is it?
It's a very faint blue light. Perhaps it's the surface and it's day. Maybe we finally know what time it is.
We should be so lucky. Grage.
Perhaps Bims can squeeze through that tiny little blue hole.
It's like a crack in the rock, so unfortunately, even though Bims is a tiny creature, it seems unlikely that he'll be able to fit through.
Can I take a closer look at it?
Sure.
So I'm going to approach it and sort of put my hand near the crack and just sort of feel if there's any additional vibrations or tremors.
Make a nature check.
Okay. Okay.
You don't feel any tremors, but as you take a look at this blue light, you have a strong feeling that this is the kind of dim blue light that is usually shed by a bioluminescent mushroom that grows in the UnderRog, conveniently called the nightlight.
I will alert the party. Ah, yes. This is a glowing mushroom. Is it growing through the crack, or I can see it through the crack?
All you can see is the glow, the warm. There's light coming through this crack, suggesting that it's on the other side of the rocks.
So, Grage, you're a monk of great physical strength. Can you karate chop this rock along the seam of the crack and split it open?
I might be able to. I'd prefer to use my hand axe, though.
Well, it would be much more performative if you did it with your hand.
But if you could do a backflip away from me while I do this, it would be much appreciated.
Very well.
Where is my karate? Ow.
Well, you hit the rock, so go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, excellent.
Using Grage's intense focus, his fist pumps out and punches the rock, a puff of dust and a tiny crack appearing in the rock, but just a chip off of the larger stone. Most of these stones are roughly medicine ball size. There's some larger, there's some smaller.
We could take a chance. Eikooc maybe shatter, but that would likely alert nearby creatures of our presence.
Could we not just move some of the rocks? If they're medicine ball size?
Oh yeah, that's true.
These are all options to you guys.
Okay. Let's start taking from the top so that they don't collapse on top of us.
We can do like a little assembly line, people passing them down the chain.
Chain gang.
Chain gang?
Yeah.
Chain
So while we do
gang.
that, let's put the rocks into like a barricade that could provide some defense to our flank. What do we need to roll to move the rocks?
We need athletic checks. So if everyone's going to do it, then that's fine. We just get everyone to roll.
Oh,
Increases our chances of failing.
Whoa, yuck.
I'm a big giant, man.
that's true.
What it does
Well
is
done.
it depends on how fast you guys are going to do this, basically. If everyone's helping, then even if there are some fails, you might get through it faster. You do have some low rolls though, so some pretty high rolls. So okay, so it takes a few hours for you guys to make any real progress. You just move stone after stone, and it appears that this blue light seems to sink further in as you lift each stone. But after a couple hours, you break through, and there is kind of a fresher sense of air in the tunnels.
Ooh.
As you break into a different area of the UnderRog. However, at this point, you guys are all very well. I was going to say exhausted, but you're not mechanically exhausted. You definitely have spent your day in terms of traveling and now moving these rocks.
Okay, well, good thing we built a defensible structure to one of our sides. That should provide some extra defense tonight.
Is the
That was
hole large
planned.
enough to get through?
We'll call it Fort Mushroom.
I like it.
We'd say
Wait.
you guys kept lifting until it was big enough for a medium creature to
Okay.
get through.
Did we get the mushroom?
Yeah, when you guys break into this room, you do see that there is a mushroom growing. It's kind of attached to the rock wall, glowing a bright, bioluminescent blue light.
Okay, and we're not exhausted or anything, right? So
You're not exhausted, but you've done your traveling for today. If you were to go further, you would be taxing yourself.
Hmm.
And these mushrooms are like 9 feet long as they grow along here. So this little area does give a little bit of light.
I would like to add some of that mushroom to my herbalism kit for making potions potentially.
Okay. You can go ahead. You can just kind of easily cultivate this mushroom, no problem. Putting it into your herbalism bag, but when you touch it, the light does go out.
Ooh.
Well, then I shall do that tomorrow.
How do you know which day is today and which one's tomorrow?
After our rest, elf.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, are we resting?
Yeah, I think we should.
Well done, Kelnozz. We've made it somewhere. Excellent leadership.
What can I say? A natural born leader. Although I'm not sure if we're really any that much closer to the surface.
Or further into the pits of hell. We shall find out.
Sweet dreams.
Tell me what they are tomorrow, please.
So we fall asleep with the glow of the mushroom to keep us company.
Hmm.
Oh, what
Do you-
else?
And
And
Before-
kill on guard.
Before we go to sleep, can I just ask the group a question? I guess in our travels, have we encountered anyone who could get us out of this UnderRog? Anyone with the ability to magically teleport us, or
have we encountered anyone like that? We haven't seen anyone.
no?
Previously.
In our travels, in our entire history of our living, have
Oh.
we ever
Genera
encountered?
sent us here. The wench.
Well, I need somebody on this plane of existence.
Well, now you're getting very specific.
Hmm.
Like
I mean, there was that mage-
Eleander. Like
Yeah.
we could ask Eleander or somebody from back in Saltmarsh.
But he wasn't exactly on good terms with us.
We still owe him some diamonds.
Yeah,
the
technically.
mage guy.
That's okay.
'Cause I
I
have
don't-
the ability. I have the ability to send somebody a message.
Oh, you got sending finally?
I have Galdur's Speedy Courier.
Oh.
Oh, couldn't you send a courier to someone and we could just follow it to find?
Unfortunately not. He just kind of disappears. He's just an air elemental, but he can take with him an object, such as a note or something. But I can send an object. I put it in a chest, and then it goes off and can go to somebody.
You can send somebody a present.
I can send presents. I can send presents that is actually like 3x3. Like it goes into a chest.
I harumph in my lack of presents received.
But I'm just wondering if this is useful to us at all in terms of trying to notify somebody that we've known or encountered in the past. Perhaps not. I've been racking my brain trying to think of something that we could do useful with that. Usually.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's not like we've met anyone with a teleportation circle or anything like that. Maybe one of those druids?
Hot Chocolate was. He was a druid, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they might have something like that in the silver
Yeah.
stand or something like that.
Perhaps like that head, the head guy of the elves.
Let me refer to my typo-ridden notes.
Oh god.
I'm grasping at straws here a little bit, but
Yeah.
and completely derailing anything that Bob's planned.
Actually,
so I'm sure.
I'm quite glad you're ruminating on this out loud. All right. Well, while you guys are thinking about that, we need to deal with the long rest.
Have we figured out our rest jobs? We have travel jobs. We need rest jobs.
I set up my alarm.
Watch.
I'll stand watch.
I shall sleep peacefully.
Send a message to Craig's Smoke Show.
I forgot about that.
I don't know what that is.
He is the fair-hand soldier that you guys encountered in the woods.
Yeah.
Oh god. That's right.
You know who I miss? Zoran Ticklewood.
Maybe you'll see it again.
Maybe.
If you guys ever make it out of the UnderRog, at least.
Yeah.
All right. So I heard Kelnozz taking a rest and
Yeah.
Brynn taking a rest. Not taking.
Oh,
a
I was
rest,
gonna.
taking
I
a
was
watch.
gonna.
My
yeah.
brain's not working. Okay. All right. So who's gonna take the first watch?
I'll take the first watch.
Sure. I will then default to the second watch.
Ugh.
Okay, so now I did a perception. That's good. Now I need Brynn to do a perception.
Damn, Brynn.
Even with the best.
Kelnozz, as you are watching over the night, a couple times during your watch, well, not a couple times, once during your watch, you feel another tremor, and the cave seems to shake a little bit more strongly this time, but not strongly enough to wake anyone up. And at the end of your shift, you manage to enter into a peaceful meditation. Brynn, is you?
Would I not? I'm not concerned enough to like alert everyone.
At your discretion.
Maybe I'll get Brynn up a little early and be like, Brynn, did you feel that?
Oh, my tummy's grumbling.
Ah,
Hey, doing
was
it
it just you?
just for mechanics' sake. Are you waking him up before his 4-hour meditation? Is that?
Oh shit. Okay, no, never mind.
Need a minimum 4 hours.
He needs his beauty rest. I'm gonna say because it was such a light tremor, I won't wake anyone early, but I will bring it to their attention in the morning.
Okay.
So I allow Brynn to get his 4 hours sleep, then I wake him up when it's his shift.
Okay, Brynn, during the night as you are watching over, you hear sounds coming from one end of this tunnel that you've opened up. And it sounds like the sound of grinding noises.
Ooh.
And even though it seems like perhaps these things were trying to approach silently, your keen elven instincts are no match, and you're able to hear as these three dark, long, snake-like shapes start twisting through you into the darkness, towards you in the darkness. So let's.
I sound the alarm.
So let's see.
Sound the alarm! Everybody up!
Oh, what is it, Brynn?
Watch out for snakes!
Ah,
You're on the watch, Brynn. It is you who must watch out for the snakes.
And they're here, so watch out for them. They're coming.
Ah, I hate snakes. I draw my greatsword.
You have
What
your
a great
pen and paper.
damn it, Bob.
So I've just put you guys in a rough camping formation, but feel free to move yourselves around a little bit.
Notice Tharhun and Kelnozz are real touchy-touchy.
What are you implying?
Touchy-touchy.
We both serve Maraganor.
Ah, that's what they're calling it these days.
We share warrior spirit and combat.
And out of combat?
Only gentle caresses.
Taps and withdrawals.
Crossing swords.
Okay. So let's all roll initiative. And we're going going to have everyone but Brynn be surprised since you are being
Damn.
woken up in the night here.
Yeah.
Nice roll.
I've got to fill my tires with water. I mean, my glass with water. BRB.
Pee real quick.
Did I hear Ryan is also going to the bathroom?
Yeah, I just have to go pee real quick.
Yeah, me too.
Do
I'll be
that
right
in the
back.
bathroom. I'm gonna go get some water. Be right back.
I'm back. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, that was weird.
Is anybody there?
Yep.
Just beeped. Did someone join the call?
I left and came back.
All right. I'm back.
You guys can hear me, right?
Ah, I was trying to get him going, Scott.
Damn it,
Yeah.
Ryan.
That again. Get out of here.
We haven't done that in weeks.
That's true, I guess.
Damn you, Ryan. Diabolical.
What happened to Eric? Ah,
Is he back?
he's back with a different username.
I must be muted.
And a snazzy red icon.
Hello, hello.
Now I hear it.
My gaming laptop appears to have just shut itself.
Uh-oh.
Rest in peace, gaming laptop. I shall take a hammer to you tomorrow.
You'll have no choice but to buy
I'm crying a few tears right now, but sorry, last I heard there were 3 snake-like creatures approaching.
Yes. So we're just rolling initiative now.
Okay.
Remember to click on your icon first before you hit the initiative button. Nice. Alright. What's your dexterity modifier, Tharhun?
Dexterity is 0, I think.
Is your initiative the same? Just...
No, I rolled
No, what's
not
your,
that great.
What's your addition? Like, what's your? Do you have a? Ask a stupid question. Is your initiative bonus different from your dexterity bonus? Is what I'm just trying to make sure.
No, it says 0 on my box here, so I assume that's right.
All right. So Brynn, you're only able to see these at all when they come into your 60-foot range here because of your dark vision. And what you see as they enter into this dim light, and you're able to see more detail, are these 3 rock-like snake creatures. They're like snakes in the sense that they're one long body without any legs, but they don't have any eyes that you're able to see immediately. And whereas a snake's mouth ends with fangs, this worm or snake-like creature ends in a vicious beak, and around it are 4 octopus-like tentacles that sprout in like cardinal directions around the beak. You can make
I'm
a
just
nature
picturing
check.
the tremors creatures. What direction are they coming from in R2K? Oh, I see.
Oh, they're coming from that side.
And is that where we came from, or that's where the blue mushroom is?
No, I forgot to make this part visible.
That's where we came from?
Yeah, so that's where you came from, and that's because represents the rocks that you kind of pushed through. The blue mushroom was just attached to the wall on the other side. So, because this is the surprise round, everyone but Brynn is surprised, having been wake up. So that means Brynn gets to go first.
Okay. Sorry, that's either.
I don't. Grage was actually awake, man. See all those dexterity rolls? He was quietly jerking it instead of sleeping. So he's actually awake. Not surprised.
Oh,
Slightly
that
surprised.
the next time.
I guess so. These are coming at us pretty hard, and they look evil. So.
Well, I need you to make a nature check, please.
Oh, okay. Nature check. Sorry.
Okay, 15. These are something known to you. They are gricks. They're essentially worm-like monsters that
Rick.
do come up to the surface sometimes, but are underground creatures as well, and they're generally attracted to precious metals.
Ah. Like what we're glittering in. Okay, I am going to cast a spell. I'm gonna Hunter's Mark the closest one, or maybe the biggest one. How far away are they here? 60 feet. How convenient. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna Hunter's Mark the biggest one. Old Biggie there. And I'm going to attack with my bow for 25.
Okay, 25 is going to hit.
For 7 plus 4, so 11 damage. I will use my Swordbreaker ability to hit the next closest one. Oops. The one that would be kind of in center.
Okay.
I hit him with a bow strike. 25 again.
25 is a hit.
That one's just 9 damage. And then I will use my holy shit extra attack on the big one again. Oh yeah!
Ooh.
30.
Alright, go ahead, roll your damage dice.
We should.
8 plus 8
Nice.
plus 4. 20 damage.
Oh my goodness.
That was pretty good.
Alright, well, as Brynn shouts out the alarm and wakes everyone up. 3 arrows fly out, catching the big one twice, and catching one of the smaller ones as well. And you can hear the larger worm-like creature shriek out in pain, but not so easily dissuaded from hopefully a good meal. The creatures are going to speed forward. So let's see.
Now, Grage, you see why Kelnozz and Tharhun were snuggling.
Missed that during my technical difficulties.
Put it inside of the blanket and the boogeyman gets in.
Yes, you must never let your guard down on the UnderRog.
Alright, so this gun is going to come out here.
Looks like we're in luck and there's a narrow part of this cave that won't be able to come one by one.
Yes, we shall use the murder zone.
Use the murder zone to our advantage.
Okay, so what's your AC, Grage? I think it's 19?
It is 20.
Oh,
Damn,
So
pretty good
20.
for a monk. Holy shit.
Alright, so it's going to lash out with its tentacles. And misses.
Which dodges epically.
And it's going to make one more attack.
So creepy looking creatures.
Alright, take 5 piercing damage as the beak manages to pinch you and cause some blood to well up. Okay.
Oh. Nothing but a flesh wound.
And you're right, these things are kind of screwed where they are. This one has 5 feet of movement, so I'm going to have it move back. You can take the attack of opportunity if you want.
That would involve just swinging broadly.
Yeah, you can use your hand axe or your fist to take a extra attack, essentially. Alright, an 18 is going to... Let's take a quick check here.
Pretty sure I hit him between the eyes.
You do hit him. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Solid 9.
This creature yelps in pain and looks bloodied. This creature is going to barrel forward into you, Grage, and
Roll.
try
Does he have any
to
movement
push
left?
you. So make a... We're going to make contested athletics checks.
Ooh.
You can make an acrobatics check if you'd like as well.
Did you say contested?
Yeah, which means I'm going to roll a dice and you're going to roll a dice, and if I get higher, you're going to get pushed, and if you get higher, then the Grick is going to fail to push you.
Okay, and athletics or what?
Athletics or acrobatics.
I'm slightly more acrobatic.
So you see this creature barrel into you, and though you try to dodge out of the way, it manages to push you back 5 feet. And this creature's just not going to get through that hole, so that's going to be its turn. You see that large creature kind of rear back as if it's ready to pounce. So, top of the normal round. Grage gets to go first.
Can I move, attack, and move, or is it? Okay, I can move. Yeah.
As long as you have movement left.
All right. Well, I should.
You have lots of movements.
Yeah. Dance forward, resting my shoulders.
Oh man, I just pictured it. It was a sweet
Whip out my axe.
while biting your bottom lip.
A 14 hits.
Always. 14 hits. I just never know what to do with my hands, but luckily I have a hand axe this time. Slash for 12.
Okay.
You don't usually want to do that on the dance floor.
But I always do.
Slash for 12. Critical hit.
Alright, and then I get a second hit. I'm not going to bother using any of my Oh, alright. Epic slash for 11.
Alright.
Hit again.
You punch the tough hide of this creature, and it seems to shudder with pain underneath your blow. It looks very weak at this point.
Remember, do I get another hit here? I get like a double
do
hit.
get another hit. Yeah, you can either say you've used your bonus action. Oh yeah, you use your hand axe twice. So you have to use a bonus action if you want to hit again with your fists.
My fists. Fists of Fury.
23 certainly hit. All right, this
And I dance backwards.
falls to the ground, lifeless.
Now, can I walk over someone?
You can pass through your friend's space. Yes.
Alright. That big one is terrifying, so I'm gonna just take a step back. Done.
Let's see your inner demon, Kelnozz.
All right, Kelnozz, you're up.
I'll charge forward.
Not
Shot
too
it
hard,
from-
Kelnozz.
Hmm?
Not too hard. I single-handedly killed that one.
Well then, shouldn't be that difficult then.
Oh!
I'm gonna say you don't quite have enough space to end your turn there, or to to stay in that space there, Kev.
Oh, I see.
Can I
Okay.
stand on the corpse?
Yeah, you can stand on the corpse.
Okay, I'm standing on the body,
You're just standing in the space of the body.
like here.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll move that just to clarify.
I shout, "For the glory of Maraganor!" I use my bonus action to light the old flame tongue on fire, and then I perform a flurry of blade strikes.
All
It's
right.
not working? There we go. First attack.
15 is a hit.
Yeah. 9 slashing plus 6 fire.
The worm falls down at your feet.
These are no challenge for the might of Maraganor. I'll do a little bit more of my movement.
Okay, the creature has a readied action, so
Oh.
it is going to take that. So it reaches out with its tentacles as you get close. Oof. Absolutely not good.
Embarrassing.
And it's going to try it with a beak. I assume that's a hit.
Oh, yeah.
So take 5 piercing damage. as the
5.
as the beak manages to snap at one of your arms.
All right, I'll use my second attack.
Okay.
Boom.
A 17, the Grick manages to dart back away from your
Ooh,
scimitar's arc.
this is the boss Grick. That's the end of my turn.
Eikooc is up.
Well, sir, I am going to cast a mighty spell called
Firebolt.
Scorching Ray.
I'm going to cast Haste
Ooh.
on
Keep us all
Kelnozz.
guessing. Alright. Haste on Kelnozz. A bright pale blue light seems to jump from Eikoc's fingers and encases Kelnozz, imbuing him with energy.
Yeah.
Anything else on your turn?
I'm going to move myself over there.
Okay. Brynn is
That's
up.
All right. I let fly an arrow.
Let loose.
Well, ooh, that doesn't bode well.
Should I comment on the results of this, or?
Yeah, I might. You know what? I'll use a luck point to just reroll
Let
that.
me just tell you one thing as you decide to do that. You've finished your long rest for the night, so you don't get this luck point back until you rest again.
Yeah, I get that.
All right, so just letting you know.
Yep. I didn't use any for a couple days, so I feel like gotta use them while you got them. And I don't actually re-roll it. I just roll a d20 and then I pick the one that I want.
That's right. You just roll a new d20, and we take the thing. So before you rolled a 2, right? Is that correct?
Yep. And
And
now
you
I've rolled a
added-
9, so 19.
Oof, 19. All right. Well, that is going to hit.
Aw, yeah. For 10. Plus 6. 16. Can't do my Horde Breaker, so I'll just hit him with the extra attack. Go him down with a 21
21 hits.
for 8 plus 4, 12 more.
Not too shabby.
Okay, so 2 more arrows fly through and stick into this creature, which shrieks in pain again. Anything else on your turn before it takes hits?
Nope, that's it.
Alright, this creature is going to try to run away. So, Kelnozz, you can choose to take your attack of opportunity if you want.
I will. Come on.
Because he's got haste?
Let's just read the rules.
Nope.
Oh, yeah. I don't think so. I think it just counts as an extra action.
Yeah, you get an extra action.
Well,
on
you
his
also
turn.
double your movement speed, so if he runs away, you're just going to run him down, probably.
Yeah, true.
Okay, well,
That's a
24
hit,
is
right?
going to hit, yeah.
Okay. So 6 slashing and 6 fire.
Alright, you deal wicked blow to it, but it does continue to run away, trailing smoke from your wound, and it is going to essentially go down this tunnel 60 feet. So it disappears from everyone's view except for Kelnozz.
I'm going to chase him down.
Well, first we'll start with Tharhun's turn.
Okay. Okay, so there's no sign of it, basically.
You just saw this creature essentially turn around with the desperation of a scared animal and bolt the way it came. And it disappears into darkness around 60 feet, the limit of your dark vision.
Well, in that case, but we're still in initiative. We're still in combat ready mode here.
Yeah. Anyone who wants to chase it can do so. That's essentially the reason we're staying in initiative.
Okay. Well, I choose not to chase it, I guess. I'll just if I ready an action, can it be a spell if I see it come back, but not cast it if or
No.
do you automatically use a spell slot? Okay,
When you're ready in action, you're casting the spell and kind of holding it, so just that act is going to use your spell slot.
Okay, well, forget that. I'm just gonna, you know what? I'll pull out my bow actually, and kind of ready an arrow in case I see it come back.
As a bow?
Yeah, I just remembered that looking through my inventory just now. Like back when we visited the elf land, they allowed us access to their armory, and I got a bunch of stuff like a bow out of it.
Now, just to make sure all your options are out there, with a bow you can actually you can shoot down that hallway and try to hit it. Because you can't see it, you'll just do so at disadvantage.
Okay, well, I'll do that. What the heck?
Worth a shot?
Worth a shot. Disadvantage. Haven't fired a longbow in my life, literally, because I was born
Not too long ago.
in my past life. I got this longbow, and I was just like, oh, all right, here we go. 13. Probably no bueno.
Unfortunately, the arrow disappears into the darkness and doesn't seem to hit its mark.
Don't come back.
Anything else on your turn?
No.
Okay, Grage.
The creature is gone.
The creature has basically run to the edge of your dark vision. So it's 60 feet away.
I remember I can move like 20 or 30 feet. I'll advance a bit. I'll nod some love here. And I shall stay in a ready state. Assuming they're coming back. 3 reinforcements.
Okay, well, when you ready in action, you say a specific trigger and then a specific result. So, for a second there, Scott was saying, I'm going to ready a bow, so if the creature appears, I shoot my bow. So if you want to ready an action, you can do that, or you can do something like a dodge action, which is, if anything does attack you, it's a disadvantage.
I shall do the dodge.
Okay. So Kelnozz, you are up. So this creature is roughly 60 feet away from you right now.
Yeah, so I'm going to use my new haste movement speed.
Okay, how far do you get?
60 feet.
Okay.
So whatever that is. Yeah, it's like I catch up with him. And I say, not so fast. And I'll perform a series of 3 precision strikes. First one.
This one, it misses as the creature continues to dodge.
Second one.
That's a hit.
Yeah. 8 slashing, 8 fire. Yeah.
And that creature succumbs to its wounds as you stab it as it tries to flee.
Now, what would this creature taste like?
There's only one way to find out.
Can I... Alright, fuck it. I'll just take a bite.
Oh my god.
Alright, you take a bite into
Can I get one of the like tentacle-y parts so it tastes like calamari or something?
Are you gonna cook this thing?
Yeah, it's usually a good idea to cook food.
Not if you're a bloodthirsty demon.
He's got a flaming
He's
sword.
just like, yeah.
Yeah,
he's-
I've charred it. Oh, I'll do like barbecue.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oof, I'm not the most wise.
Okay. No one sees this because he's outside of your 60 feet range. Let's just go into the other channel for 2 seconds. I love this surprise here, or like the element of surprise here. So, as you draw your blade and see that it is covered with the slick, warm blood of this creature, your ravenous hunger takes over, and you just begin. You don't think to cook it, and you just start slicing pieces of flesh off, and you start eating it uncontrollably, ravenously, stuffing as much into your mouth as you can, while your companions are still too far away to see in the darkness.
Do you think I would be clever enough to like clean up myself, or do you think it's more interesting if I leave like the blood all over my face? And
Let's see how quickly they come and see.
okay,
Because if they give you time, then I'd say yes, and if they don't, then
okay.
get us your turn. Okay, so you guys can hear the sound of this creature falling to the ground, and the tunnel begins to seem peaceful again.
The creature made the sound of the Wilhelm scream as it died.
But
Where's
Kelnozz is still... He just booked it down the tunnel into the darkness.
We heard the creature cry out in pain, so he's probably won. Is he coming back into view? Or should we go check on him?
Well, I assume like we would go and see what happened to him because after all, he's chasing after a monster, right? Like we'd be worried about what happened.
I
So
fear
I-
he's dead.
So you guys are basically
Yeah.
going to follow him immediately?
I think we should just go the other way. I shall take charge of this group now.
But we can't leave our brother in arms to fend for himself. Plus he's our guide out of here, so I don't know. I'm going to immediately follow him down there.
Dragon face.
Alright, when you travel down the tunnel and can eventually see Kelnozz again as the light seems to take on more definition thanks to your helmet, you see that Kelnozz is like kneeling at the creature, cutting off slices of the meat and eating it just raw quickly. He seems like he's putting it in his mouth as fast as he can.
Ugh!
Tharhun,
Kelnozz! What are you doing? That doesn't seem very editable.
you should try some of this. It's delicious.
I would prefer not. This vile thing came from the ground.
Well, perhaps you can eat your dry moss then.
Well, your stomach is certainly more tough than ours, or perhaps you're used to the cuisine of the UnderRog. Is this considered a delicacy?
Why, yes, it's a very rare creature. Surely you'll try just a taste.
Still too gross for me, I'm afraid.
Some do prefer it cooked, but I prefer it raw.
I see. Well, only slightly concerning then.
I fire up Flame Tongue and start to gently cook some small slices of the tentacles. Grage, perhaps you'd like a taste?
Make a
I'll take a double.
survival check, Kelnozz.
Okay. I'm trying to cook it thoroughly here. Okay, that's good.
You cook it quite thoroughly.
We'll get up in this.
All right, great. You gonna eat some?
Oh yeah.
Well, it is not very much like any other kind of meat that you've eaten, but it tastes like food. Doesn't have any kind of strange,
Tastes like chicken.
taste to you. It's a new flavor, but not a terrible flavor.
This is quite the delicacy, Kelnozz. I'm gonna eat some more.
Yes, I think we should eat our fill.
Well, there are several pounds of flesh here that can be consumed.
I'll go tell the others. Hey. Food
Yeah.
over here. Don't ask what it is. Don't ask what it is. Just come and have some. It's tasty.
Tasty, you say? Certainly isn't one of these beasts we just murdered.
One
I
and the
see.
same.
Ah, Tharhun, you're eating this as well?
Hardly. I do not consume the flesh of weird beasts. I don't know. At least according to Kelnozz, this is a UnderRog delicacy, but I don't eat what I destroy in the act of, defense and justice.
Brynn, how about you take a nature check, please?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Oof.
This creature used to be related to me.
Good flex. You know enough about these Grix to know that they're not natural beasts. And so their flesh can be eaten, but when you're eating the flesh of monsters, it's kind of like, it's risky business.
Choose your own adventure.
So
Great.
Grage and Kelnozz seem to be fine, but you are aware of the distinction between a normal beast and like where you guys would be pretty normal to eat that flesh, and this kind of monstrosity.
We must not eat these monstrosities.
It's just a little gamey.
Oh, you're going to get very sick.
I'm
Down
still
here
eating
in
it
the
right now.
More for me.
Cease eating so we can continue our journey. Surely you can't eat pounds and pounds of monster flesh.
Well, I've had my full. Fill?
Better
Full?
than moss.
It is better than moss.
Oh,
Do we
I'll
see
take
any more
my
of this cavern that way?
vegetarian diet any day. Over the flesh of a vile creature lurking around in the UnderRog.
So, is anyone else going to be eating the flesh?
I'll take Brynn's advice and I will abstain.
Yeah. Same here.
Okay. Are you guys gonna resume your long rest then? Restarted essentially.
Well, before we rest, so we're making camp here.
Well, you guys have already made camp here. This was something that Brynn woke you guys up for in the middle of the night.
Oh, okay, we're already fed for this day, aren't we? If it was the same day.
Well, yeah, you guys ate. In the
Okay,
path
then I'm
yesterday,
fine.
So
Oh, I was
you
gonna.
need to rest.
Okay.
Only Brynn has had a full rest at this point.
Okay. I will go back to rest for now. But I was just reading different abilities here. I have one proposal to run by you to see if this might help us out. So I have here a ability to ask Maraganor specifically to assist us. Basically, it costs an action, and I describe what intervention I'm looking for
Okay.
in the form of divine intervention. It says here, it's at the DM's discretion. Based on what I'm asking, it could be a cleric spell that he casts, but it doesn't have a very good chance of working. Like, it's basically 9 out of 100 chance of working, so 1 in 10 almost, a little worse than that. But I was thinking if I could beseech Maraganor to guide us, he could cast a cleric spell of Find the Path. Where is that? Find the Path, which basically says that we think of a place, and it basically for one day we know, like every time we travel, we know exactly where to go to get the shortest path
Whoa.
to that place, and we know how long it's going to take to get there. And basically, as we travel, every like fork in the road or every direction, whatever, we'll know the shortest direction. Although it does say not necessarily the safest direction. So that's an issue. But I was thinking I could like do this in the morning before we start our travel to like pray for Maraganor's help guiding our path back to, I would say probably back to the Garden Hills. And if he listens, then maybe this would help us.
Well, it's a good idea. It's going to depend on how you roll. And
Yeah.
if Maraganor were to do Find the Path, it would only last for a day. Because that's what
Yeah, so
the spell only lasts for a day.
We'd know how long it takes us to get there on the shortest path, but it would give us one day of like making some progress towards that closest path every time it works. But once it works, I can't use it for another 7 days. So there's that. It just kind of puts us in the right direction.
And I'll take a look at the list in case there's something else that jumps out at me as useful. But go ahead and roll your dice first just to see.
Okay, it's a long shot anyhow. Let's roll.
And this is after you guys are resting, I suppose, right? So
Yeah, in the morning before we set out.
Okay.
So 1d100, right?
Yeah.
And 91, so no bueno yet. I have to roll under 9 or under, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that every like day basically once we finish resting.
Okay, I need Grage to make a Constitution saving throw with advantage.
Advantage.
Alright, you start feeling a bit queasy in the middle of the night, but using your willpower, you reinforce your dwarven stamina, and you manage to keep it together and pass the nausea without succumbing to the sicknesses. So the next morning, you guys, morning so to speak, you guys are now free to continue your journey.
Man, the dream I had last night was nuts. I gotta tell you about it, but you know, you Kelnozz.
So, which way?
I just had another idea. Stay with me. Kelnozz, is there an animal that is very good at navigating the UnderRog?
Well, it's common for my people to ride certain lizards that have suction cup fingers, and it allows them to climb up walls or caverns that otherwise wouldn't be reachable. I can't remember what that creature's called.
I think spiders could do that too. Do you
Spiders
ever
can
ride
too?
spiders?
Well, I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking that if it's useful, I could polymorph one of us into a useful creature for getting us through
T-Rex.
this place. T-Rex, yes. If T-Rex would be useful, I could make one of us a T-Rex.
Spider would be cool.
But like all of us would have to have a mount. So can you transform like half the team into a mount?
This would just be one person. And for instance, I was thinking we just transform one person into a giant badger and make them dig up.
But it lasts for an hour, I believe, right?
Oh yeah, it would take forever. But or we transform into some sort of worm type creature that knows how to navigate these tunnels better than we are. Like, it's not that they know it, it's just that they have like better senses that suit for this. If that's something we want to do. Just trying to find something in my toolbox that'll help us.
Yeah, to help us out. I can't think of any creatures that would help like lead us to the surface or help us find other tracks or.
Okay, then we continue on.
But a Tyrannosaurus Rex would be really fun.
Next time.
All right, have I got the marching order and rolls correct here?
Yep.
I assume we're not changing anything.
Let us continue our search for a way out of this godforsaken place.
Okay, so let's get the survival throws from Kelnozz and Brynn and Grage.
Sure. Survival, way to go. Keep on surviving.
Oh my god, what is with these rolls?
Perhaps we should find a new leader.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. We can't see his rolls. We just know that we've found nothing but dead ends so far, so we only approximately know he's doing a bad job.
We did get to the cave with the blue mushroom, which I now have some of it in my herbal kit, but
Not bad.
it's still good.
Okay, so just before I describe the foraging thing, are you guys doing anything with these carcasses? Like, you taking any with you?
In my stomach.
I'm gonna take this as a no.
I mean, can I carry like a piece with me in case I get hungry?
Yeah, I'd say you could probably carry a few pounds.
Well, I'll hold on to it till it goes spoiled and then chuck it out.
Okay. So it is a long day of traveling with Kelnozz seemingly not sure where he's going, and after
Completely lost.
several dead ends, you guys have to loop back to where you were and realize that even though you've done about 8 hours of walking, you haven't made the usual 6 miles worth of progress. Brynn is very successful in finding food for the day. You guys find more barrel stocks. And I'll just do a little roll here for how much you get. So this is how much water that you're able to get out of these This will be before the doubling. And this is how much food you're able to get. So 14 pounds of food, 10 gallons of water.
Not too shabby.
This is very,
Not
very
too
handy.
shabby.
So we each get 2 gallons of water, essentially.
Unless you want to be greedy about it, yep.
And how much food each?
Brynn finds 14 pounds of food.
Enough food for 2 and a bit days.
That's a good haul.
All right, and Kelnozz, what is your food for the day?
I'll munch on these little tentacle pieces.
Tentacle jerky.
Delicious.
So while you guys, and while Grage is tracking in this tunnel, you're able to pick up a little bit more signs. You see signs of the Grix that have been traveling through some of these tunnels. You don't see any signs of humanoids or monsters in the area besides the Grix, but you can see that this area is much less undisturbed than the passage that you guys have been passing through for the last few days.
Well, crew, I hate to tell you, but I think there's at least 100 of these worm-like creatures in these caves here based on the tracks that I'm seeing.
While you guys are traveling, another tremor happens, and this time it is much stronger. And as you feel this tremor, several boulders become loosened and fall down near where you guys are walking. So I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
With +2.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So Kelnozz, unfortunately, you're not able to dodge out of the way as one of these rocks falls, and you take 13 bludgeoning damage from the rock fall. This
13.
13 bludgeoning.
Ugh.
This also contributes to how slow your travel is today, as you guys
Damn
have
it.
to pick your way through, and it makes your travel just a bit harder that day. You also end your travels as you find a passage seems to end in a cliff face, and Kelnozz, you can see that this cliff goes beyond your 120 feet vision, but everyone can see that there are, in the darkness high above, you can see a blue-ish kind of glow, likely another nightlight. And in that glow, you can see a cavern opening, so a mouth of another passage.
Ooh, that's promising. I think let's head in that direction. Can I send Bims out there just to take a peek?
Sure.
So he would get within like 20 feet from it, basically, at max range.
So Bims flies up, and using his telepathic communication to you, he gives you the sense that there's a large cliff here that he's flying up, and that the cliff ends shortly, not too much farther than what you're able to see, and that from there it is indeed another a mouth a mouth of another passage that continues on through the UnderRog. Your only other option is to turn back where you came from.
Could Bims perceive if there's like any other light other than the mushroom, or any like the air is more fresh or anything like that? Any indication that this would be closer to an entrance that may lead to the surface?
That's beyond Bim's ability to perceive.
Okay, so I'll have Bims return to me, and I'll tell the group that there's another passage up ahead, but I'm not sure if it'll lead us to the surface. I think we have to keep looking. I had hoped I could navigate these lands better, but it has been many years since I've been to the UnderRog.
What are our options, leader?
Do we know what's at the top of the cliff?
Bims wasn't able to see anything other than the mushrooms growing around this mouth of the passage.
I think we should continue forward.
To continue forward means climbing up.
How hazardous would it be to climb this face?
Although it is kind of a cliff, there are lots of kind of rubble and large rocks at the bottom. So you could probably get up about a third of the way before having to actually utilize mountain climbing skills.
Dwarf, I'm pretty handy. I have no issue trying to climb up first.
I'll just remind you here, Grage, it's a little difficult. I'm not sure if you can run. I think you have to finish your movement, but as a monk of your level, you're also able to run on vertical surfaces. So if your speed is 45, I believe, so on any given turn, you could run 90 feet up a wall. And you don't need to make
Does that
checks.
get me to the top?
Pardon?
Did that get me to the top?
According to Kelnozz, it won't. You can only see 60 feet up this thing, and then there's a blue glow that's obviously higher, but it's hard to tell exactly how much farther because it's just a glow in the dark. And Kelnozz can see about 120 feet, and he still can't quite see the cliff that clearly.
I can borrow a rope. I'll take a rope up with me as I run up this cliff face with my amazing skills that I've trained.
Okay, you have a rope.
That's cool.
So I use some of my rock climbing skills. So
do you have anything that you could use to, like I'm thinking about what you're going to attach this rope to halfway up a cliff?
I'm gonna try and wedge it into some of the rock face to make sort of a landing pad, or to stop me from falling to my death. Shove it in with my axe.
Okay. Alright, so if you're going to start by doing that, you take your length of rope, 50 feet of rope, tie it to your axe handle. What I'm understanding is you're going to run up and then try and wedge it into a rock with your axe. Right?
Yes, to assist my weak elf friends.
Okay. So running up the wall for Grage is not hard. You're able to almost like finding the hidden cracks like a goat. You're able to just spring up this wall, quickly dodging from one almost invisible handhold to another. I'm going to assume you're going to use your bonus action to dodge, which I think is pretty sure is a monk thing. Or not dodge, but dash. And so you get about 90 feet up. From here, you can see that the cliff only goes for about another 40 feet, or 60 feet rather. And as for the axe thing, let me just take a look at the skills.
Fine athletics.
I was thinking athletics too. Okay, athletics is, if that sounds fair, then let's go for an athletics check. Okay, so you, as you're running up and keeping your momentum, you find what you think is a good spot and you push your axe into a small crevice in the rock there. Now make a dexterity check to keep hold of the rope as your movement ends. Ooh. Okay, well, this is not going to be a big deal because you have slow fall, but you do fall. And I believe that, let's see, did I write down? Yeah. So
You'll be fine.
So what usually happens when you fall is you roll 1d6 per 10 feet that you fall. And so that means you would usually take 35 damage from falling for like this. Mm-hmm. So you can use your reaction to reduce damage taken by an amount equal to 5 times your monk level. You're level 9 monk. I think that's 45. So you can choose to take no damage.
It's a way of healing.
Wait.
That didn't work so well.
Cliff diving.
Reduce equal to 5 times your monk level. Yeah, okay, I'm thinking about it right. So yeah, okay, 40. So you would reduce that completely, and so even though you miss the rope as you fall, you manage to kind of drag your hand with your strong and adept dwarven hands, and manage to slow your fall so that you really are barely just kind of. It looks to everyone else like you're just kind of sliding down the wall as opposed to falling.
Take another day. So I attached a rope up there for anyone if they need to step a little further.
Great. How high is the edge?
It's about another 30 or 40 feet from where the rope ends.
It was 60.
60. Roughly 60. That's as far as I can see. So.
Can we? Brynn, can we light an arrow? Can you fire an arrow so we can see?
There's just to remind everyone, or just remind Kelnozz, you also have a new item that makes this challenge somewhat trivial.
Oh my god, my mandolin.
What does it do?
I can cast levitate.
You can use it to cast fly once per day.
Or levitate? Is levitate someone else? Oh, fly is me. Yeah. I completely forgot about that. I'll cast fly on myself.
Okay, so Kelnozz brings out his extremely fancy new mandolin, and playing a specific chord is encased in pale blue light, and he feels himself become light and almost weightless and becomes able to fly.
Whee! So I will fly up to the level at which it becomes flat ground again for this face here, cliff face.
Okay.
And what do I see?
You fly 150 feet up, and you see the open rock, the mouth into the passage here, that where the UnderRog seems to continue on. There's a blue nightlight that is growing just above this passage and encapsulating the area. And make either a nature check or a perception check.
Perception.
The ground around here looks like it has kind of like, it looks like this area has suffered from the effects of the sinkhole, and that part of the ground crumbled down, creating this cliff face that you guys are now having to deal with.
Are there any tracks of creatures nearby?
Make a survival check.
Oh,
Nope.
how far is the rope that Grage put up?
So from the lip of the cliff, the rope is 60 feet down. The rope is 50 feet.
I see. So we don't have enough rope.
So there's 40 feet, which is essentially the amount has rubble down at the bottom. That makes it a bit easier to climb.
If people were holding onto the rope, can I still fly? Like if I was holding the rope, is there a maximum weight that fly can hold?
Well, it's more like your muscles that can hold.
I see. Well, I could like shuttle people up.
What's the lifting rules again in terms of how much something can lift?
Like something based on strength, I would guess.
It's an equation based on your strength. I can look it up, but I have to look it up. I don't recall at the exact moment.
How far how far does your teleport thing go?
Oh, I'm way ahead of you. I got a free ride up there.
Oh, okay. But you can't bring other people with you.
I could bring one other person with me.
Okay. So
but I might have a better option. Depending on Bob's equation. Looking.
Okay. Because we got one guy who can fly up. We got one guy who can run up. We got you that can teleport, and with one other person. So one guy's out.
Just leave one behind.
Just let's draw lots.
I could teleport up with somebody. You could lower me down, and then I could teleport up with somebody else.
That's true too. I like the problem solving.
But I would like to know.
So if your typical carrying capacity is your strength score multiplied by 15.
So my strength is 12. So 12 times 15, 180.
So if I can lift 390 pounds.
Oh my god, dude.
Is that more than one person?
I don't know, because you'd have to take into account the equipment weight. And like, I'm carrying myself almost 200 pounds of equipment, I would say. And then like, how much do I weigh as a person? I don't know.
I'd say that it's pretty clear you could lift one person.
Yeah, probably not two.
And probably not two people who are wearing heavy armor.
But if I polymorph them into chickens...
There we go.
Polymorph them into birds.
No.
That'd be much more dignified.
Polymorph them into penguins.
Polymorph them into elephants and build a complex lift.
Use the elephants to build the lift.
We started with some good ideas, but I think now we're getting off
Turn
the
one
rails
into an
here.
elephant. There will be extra mass. Cut off meat.
Elephant.
Step 3, I don't know. Step 4, profit.
So it is true. I could polymorph two of us into birds, and then I could dimensional door one other person up to the top. and Kelnozz is already up there, so I can get the rest. I can get the rest of them up there
That'll work.
that way.
And Grage could probably run up there over 2 turns pretty easily.
All right. Well, if I don't have to polymorph Grage, then I will polymorph one person and dimensional door someone else with me. Sound like a plan?
All right. I volunteer to not be changed into some sort of bird. That can be the other guy. I'll come with you in this teleportation gate.
Brynn, you're the volunteer to be a bird.
Be one with the animals, Brynn. This is your true calling.
Oh. I will work with the animals.
All right. So
Okay.
I polymorph Brynn into a bird.
So if Grage is gonna run up, then all you need to do is catch the rope, so that on another turn you can just run up again. So in that case, make a acrobatics or an athletics check.
Ooh.
It was dexterity last time, no?
It was dexterity last time because you were falling, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to take the 19 anyway. I'm sure your acrobatics or your athletics is not a minus number, so you managed to catch it this time, and you can spend your next turn just dashing up again like normal. You launch yourself up on and run up the side of the cliff almost as fast as your friends were able to fly up there in their bird forms. And
How long do they stay as birds?
well,
only Brynn is a bird.
It's
Yeah.
concentration.
up to
I
an
can
hour.
disable it.
I fly away.
Bims eats you.
Oh god.
Circle of life.
So after
Kelnozz.
realizing all of your magical abilities, you make fairly easy work of this very large cliff that, looking down, now just disappears into blackness. And having completed a full day of traveling and a little bit of problem solving, you guys are ready to rest again, and we will end off the night there.
Hey.